I know. ADD. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is solving quadratic equations. So yesterday we spent quite a bit of time practicing factoring. So we're going to use what we practiced yesterday to now solve equations. We're going to learn how to solve them graphically, algebraically, using factoring and square roots. Okay? So nothing necessarily new, just a little different from the way you're used to seeing it. You guys ready? Say yes. All right. Okay, so we know standard form of a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c, right? Who remembers the other form we talked about? Yes, the h and the k. What was that form called? Vertex form. Very good. Vertex form was what? Who remembers? A.
Squared plus b.
Good. So that's vertex form, right? So that was another way that we looked at formation for quadratics. Okay? Just a little refresher there. All right, so normally when we have quadratic equations, what we like to do is have them set equal to 0, and then we factor them to solve, right? And we use zero product property to solve them out. Okay, so if I had x squared minus 4x minus 20 would equal 0, I'm talking fast, aren't I? I'll slow down. How would I solve this? Got to factor it. Good. How does it factor? Good. X minus 7, x plus 3. Now you have to have the equal 0. If you lose that equal 0, what you've done is you've turned it from an equation to an expression, and it's no longer solvable. Okay, so you have to make sure you have that 0. Got it? Got it. Okay, now what? Awesome. And what is that called? Good, zero product property, right? Okay, now what? Solve them. So you get what? Good. How do I generally like to write multiple solutions? What kind of brackets? The fancy one. Okay, curly, right? So we're going to have -3 and 7 as our solutions. What do you think? Not bad, right? A little bit. Control close parentheses gives you curly brackets. Ready? No? Nothing. Ready? Next page. All right, we're going to solve this one by factoring, right? Do we like the way it's set up? Why don't I like it? Good, I want to set it equal to 0 first. So how do I do that? Get the 15 over there. How? Add it over. Awesome. Okay. Control M will start a math box. Make it easier to type. Okay. 2x squared minus 11x plus 15 equals 0. Excellent. Okay. Now we talked about factoring these yesterday, right? We know they take a little practice, a little work. But since this one starts with a 2, this should be a little bit easier. I know it's going to start with what? 2x and x. Good. So 2x. And we know the signs are going to be, and they're both going to be good. Signs are the same. Both can be negative. So 2x, leave a space here, and x equals 0. So we need to figure out what it's going to be. We have 15, right? So what are my options? 5 and 3, 1 and 15. Okay. Gotta figure out which one to use. What do you want to try first? Okay, let's try 5 and 3. 5 and 3, let's try it. How do we try it? Gotta FOIL it back out. Good, so 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times -3 is -6x. -5 times x is -5x, and then plus 15. Will that give me -11? Awesome. So it's going to be -5 minus 3. Got it on the first try. That was pretty good. Okay, so this is just my check. This isn't part of my problem, right? It's just my check. Okay, so what do I do from here? Good. set each factor equal to 0. X equals 5. Okay, one more step there. Divide by 2. So we get 5 halves and 3. So those are our solutions. Okay. No, we don't. We checked it by foiling it back out to see if the factoring was correct. If the factoring is correct, your solutions are correct. Okay, but you absolutely can check it back in if you feel more comfortable doing so. Okay. If I'm going too fast, you need to tell me. Okay, new kid? All right. I get to call him new kid for a week. Are we ready? Can I go on to the next one? Are you not being nice?
She said that's not disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
It is disrespectful.
No, I like the new kid.
This is all being recorded. I don't want to see this when I get it.
Next page. Teacher lady, I would be okay with that. Better than some other names. Okay, so x squared plus 7x equals 18. Do I like the way it's set up? No. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and do this one. I'm going to pause and we'll go over it in a moment. Somebody walk me through it. What do we do? Subtract the 18. Excellent. Subtract the 18. Shush! Be good, boys and girls. What? Factor. How does it factor, dear? Good. X plus 9x minus 2. Why are you being naughty children right now? Be good children. Okay, now what? Zero product rule. Thank you. X plus 9 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. And answer is? Awesome. How many people got this right? Show of hands. Woo! Okay, nice job. I will not. I'm going to pause right here. Okay. All right, so this one, a little bit different, right? Same kind of idea. It's still a quadratic, still has an x squared, right? So how should I start it? How do I get rid of it? Subtract it over. Good. So we're going to subtract that over. It is, except for when they're not like terms. Yeah. Okay, 16x squared minus 8x. We're not going to combine them. We're going to put it like this. Okay. Very good. GCF. What's my GCF here? 8x. Because 8 goes into 16 and 8. Sure, but it's too small.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Good. We're going to divide each term by 8x, and we get 2x minus 1. Don't forget that minus 1. Sometimes we forget that. Why don't they just cancel out? Okay. What's anything divided by itself? How did I get 2x? 16x squared divided by 8x. It's 2x. Okay, guys, now what? Zero product rule. 8x equals 0. 2x minus 1 equals 0. And divide by 8. So you get x equals 0. So we get 0 and 1/2 as my solutions. How are we doing, guys? We getting the hang of this? We're going too fast, new kid?
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. We'll slow down. Good job. Good job. Okay, so we're going to give this one a shot, take a few minutes, and we'll come back. Okay, so we're going to start by doing what, guys? GCF. Good. What's my GCF? 5. So the 5 gets pulled out front. Excellent. Okay, x squared minus 36 should be like jumping out at you, right? Why?
Squares.
Good. Difference of two perfect squares. How's it factor? Good. Never giving you guys sugar again, ever. So 5 equals 0, x plus 6 equals 0, x minus 6 equals 0. And we get answers of 6 and negative 6. Now, is there another way to do this one? Yeah. Is there another way to do this one? Yeah. The other way I could have done this is right from the original equation. I could have added 180 over to the other side. Got 5x squared equals 180. Divided it by 5. And then taken the square root. And we know when we take the square root, it's always plus and minus. So that would have been another way you can do it, okay? When it's just an x squared, you can solve it using square root, okay? It's in your book. Yeah, catalog key. Okay? Okay, so you're going to solve 3x squared equals 24, and you can either solve it the long way or the short way. It's up to you. You can't factor A, right? So sometimes we get answers that are radicals, but we like radicals, so that's okay. Well, you might want to simplify it. You know how to break that down. Okay. Okay, so we want to do this quick way or the longer way? I like the quick way. Okay, so we want to isolate x squared. How? Good. Divide both sides by 3. And we get x squared equals 8. Very good. We take the square root. Now, be careful. Remember, square root's always plus and minus. Square root. I just took the square root of both sides. And then we can break down 8 to be 4 and 2. So we get x equals plus and minus 2 square roots of 2. What do you think? Easy, right? Not so bad. Shame on you. Okay, so let's try a word problem. I love word problems. They're my favorite. Everything's my favorite. That's not true. Not everything's my favorite. No, it's not true. Everything is my favorite. I love everyone and everything. Okay, so word problem. Ready? Are you ready? 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 Okay. Firefighters. Smoke jumpers are in a free fall from the time they jump out of a plane until they open their parachutes. Shh, guys. The function y equals negative 16t squared plus 1600 models a jumper's height, y in feet, at t seconds for a jump from 1600 feet. How long is the jumper in free fall if the parachute opens at 1,000 feet? Okay, so what are they giving us? Are they giving us time or height? They're giving us height. What do we want to look for? Time. So where are we going to put the 1,000? We're going to put it in for y. Okay, we're going to put it in for y. So negative 16t squared plus 1600. Or plus 1,000, sorry. 1,600? 1,600. Okay. So I get 1,000 equals negative 16t squared plus 1,600. I don't want to subtract the 1,000. That's 16t squared, negative 16t squared. Yep, negative 16t squared. No, I want to use,
We want to get rid of the negative 16, right? We want to add 1600.
I don't want to add 1600. I want to subtract 1600. Okay, I want to solve using square roots. Divide by negative 16, good. I think you get 37.5. Yeah? Okay. Why did I turn it into a decimal when I usually like fractions?
Because it's asking for time.
It's asking for time. Generally, we don't do time in fractions, right? Okay, take the square root. And what do we get? So it's about 6.1, we'll say seconds. Doesn't give us exact time, but 6.1 approximately. Okay? Not too bad, right? I got one more I got to get through, guys, before you go. It's in the book.
61?
6.1. 6 and... There's a glare. Yes, I have to get through one solved by graphing. You guys should already know how to do it, so it shouldn't take any more than one, but... Are you guys ready? Okay, guys. Sometimes they don't factor, and we can't solve them using square roots, so occasionally what we wind up having to do is solve them by graphing. When I solve a quadratic by graphing, what I'm looking for is when the function crosses the x-axis, okay? When the function crosses the x-axis, that's where we find our solutions. We also call them zeros or roots, so you need to know those three words go together and can be used synonymously. Is that right? Yeah. Zeros, solutions, roots. Say it. Zero, solution, root. So if I say one of those three things, they all mean the same. Got it? Okay. All right, so we have the function x squared, or the equation x squared minus 5x plus 2 equals 0. Not factorable, so I'm going to have to solve it graphically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the left-hand side of my equation, because you're not special. Control I, new kid. Add a graph page. You can't. I can, you can't. Sorry. X squared minus 5x plus 2. So we graph the left-hand side of the equation, the polynomial part. Okay? And then to graph it, we hit enter. Now again, what I'm looking for is the roots. How do I get the roots? Where it crosses the x-axis, how do I get them? Yeah, menu. Geometry. New kid, you keeping up? Frank, keeping up? Do you have it graphed? Okay, hurry up. Okay, so you're going to do menu, geometry, points and lines, and we're going to select which one? Point on. Okay, how do we use point on? Menu, geometry, points and lines, point on. Okay, you're going to click on the graph and hit enter, and then you're going to do you know how to grab a point?
Yeah, he's grabbing.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to click on it, hit enter, grab that point, and it says, what's it say? Okay. You want where it's crossing the x-axis. Okay? So you grab it and move it, and it should say 0. Nope, you you can't, well, you can let go and see what the 0 is. Whoops. What? Okay. Jeez. Okay, so there are my one's a little off, I suppose, right? My 0 should be 0.438 and 4.56. Notice how I'm writing them? Curly brackets, because they're solutions, right? It's not a point. If you put them in parentheses, it's wrong. Okay? So all you have to do to solve graphically is graph it, use point on, and find the solutions where it crosses the x-axis. Your homework is pages 16 and 17 in your packet tonight. Please, 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 please make sure you do it. Solving these equations. If it says to do it graphically, do it graphically. If it says algebraically, do it algebraically. Got it? Okay, thanks, guys.